You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. We broadcast live every Thursday at high noon on 104.5 and 106.1 from beautiful downtown Conroe, Texas. We're also live on Facebook.
That was loud.
So check us out on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, _Ticket Stub. Shoot us a message. We may shout it out on the air. Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
Man, they never tasted so good.
But we've got more sponsorships available. Great way to get the word out if you have a local business, but we're a national show. So anybody, feel free. Visit us at irlonestar.com.
International.
Worldwide, Mr. Worldwide. You can call us at 936-647-3776. Leave a message on our message line. Make sure you say that you're calling for the Ticket Stub so that we can get the word out and play the message on air. Also, don't forget to leave a 5-star review.
You know what's funny? Every time we say, like, leave a message, each generation that gets younger and younger, they don't know what it means to leave a message. Because I've noticed it when we get messages at the studio, they don't leave their name, even though they asked it. They don't leave what show it's for. They're just like, yeah, I really like that. That was funny what that guy said. Thanks, Sean. Hangs up.
All right.
So, guys, if you're listening, learn how to leave a message.
Give us your name and the show's name, and that way we can play it and people know what the heck you're talking about.
Thanks, John.
Well, we got a great show today. A lot of good stuff coming up. We're going to do some movie news here in just a few minutes. Later in the show, in the second segment, we've got an interview with Chad Miller, who is one of the guys. I don't want to say anything wrong here. He's one of the guys who helped bring back the TV show.
Yeah, he's considered one of the main two guys.
Oh, I got a question.
Okay.
So we have fans, and they're called Stubbies.
Okay.
So what are the fans of Last Man Standing?
Ooh, let's save it. Save it for Chad. Or
Do we know? Is there an answer?
I don't know. Well, let's save that for
All right,
Chad.
we'll
Maybe
save that
he
for
knows.
Chad. Do they identify as a group? Our Ticket Stub, so we have the Stubbies or Stub Nation. Do they just call themselves fan of the show? Maybe on the air today, if they don't have a name, maybe we can help him come up with one. I don't know, just a thought. But we're going to do that. We're also, since we're going to kind of do the TV Stub today, since we got Chad coming on to talk about Last Man Standing. Later in the show, we're going to talk about our top 3 TV shows that should be rebooted, because Last Man Standing is coming back. So in honor of that, we're going to talk about 3 shows for each of us.
Is it being rebooted? Would you call that a reboot?
Revive.
Okay,
right.
but we're going to talk about reboots.
I'm just giving Connor a hard time.
Well,
I didn't read what you told me to
you don't ever, so why would today be any different? We're also going to give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater Movie Tavern like we do every week. If you're somebody that lives in an area that has a movie tavern or Grand Theater, every episode we give away 2 tickets. We'll mail them to you, even if you're not local. We do that through a question. So please, participate with that. Twitter is the best way to win those. We'll talk about it, and at the end of the show, we'll have our question to win tickets for the next week. Guys, my name is Connor Halstead. Joined in studio as always. I usually do this earlier in the show. Chris Appel, how you doing, bud?
I am so excited. Like, you have no idea.
I know.
I've been wanting to talk.
We do have an idea.
Yeah, well, you have an idea. I've been wanting to
Dick
talk.
and I have an idea. The fans might
We
not.
have an idea.
I've been wanting to talk about Last Man Standing on this show forever.
Yeah, you've tried a couple times.
I've tried and you've shut me down. But today I've commandeered the show, so we're gonna spend a good deal of time on it.
For those that don't know, Chris is Tim Allen's #1 fan, I would say. Hold on,
I don't know about that.
I would say that normally, but if we have some listeners, some Last Man Standing people listening, they may not be true. Chris is a huge Tim Allen fan.
He's my favorite actor, and that is true.
Favorite actor. You have not yet seen him live in comedy, right? But that's coming soon.
I have not, but he's coming here on the 22nd of September, so I will be there. And
Has that always been like a thing, or is it just kind of like after a while people ask a question, "Who's your favorite actor?" And you're like, you know what? Never really thought Tim Allen. I like Tim Allen. Or is it like right when you saw Tim Allen, you're like, oh man, he is the one. He is the one. I have to see everything.
No, he's the guy that I find myself watching the most.
Okay, so
either on Home Improvement, Last Man Standing, the movies. Just pretty much every day at some point, I'm going to see him in some fashion.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, that's pretty cool. And then also the other voice is Dick Schisler. Dick, how you doing?
What's up?
Word. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I saw The Razor's Edge finally. And that was one of the funniest things. Are we doing movie rewind?
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Well, let me tell you the story then real quick.
Okay.
If I was looking at Amazon Prime, and I think it was Amazon Prime, and The Razor's Edge with Bill Murray came up. And I go, why do I know this movie? And as we started watching, I asked Holly, I was like, I know we talked about this movie. If it clicks, tell me why. And then she randomly goes, oh, because of Eat, Pray, Love, like in the middle of the movie. And I was like, that's right. We did a group rewind of Eat, Pray, Love, and I asked the question, who did this movie but better? And then Chris goes The Razor's Edge with Bill Murray, which I can say they did it better.
You sent a very confusing text in the middle of the week.
Yeah,
I
didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, because it was driving me nuts. It's like, why do I care about this movie? Why am I watching this movie? Because it was recommended to you because I hated Eat, Pray, Love because
it was terrible.
Well, I could
really,
see
really
where
bad.
it was trying to go, but I was like, I just don't care about this woman.
Yeah.
And then when I wanted to care.
Eat, Pray, Love, the movie with no conflict. That's another name.
But
for
then
it.
The Razor's Edge, total conflict and a lot of crazy stuff actually.
Well, if we have any new listeners to the show, normally the format, we do movie news at the beginning, and then we do a rewind about halfway through where each of us talk about the movies that we've seen for the week. Today, we're going to swap that out for an interview segment with Chad Miller that we're really excited about. And then we're going to talk TV at the end of the show.
TV
but
never tasted so good.
Yeah, but we're still going to do movie news because we're beholden to the format here. So, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things going on in the world of movies. The first is an article from IndieWire.com. I will say Chris found these this week. Normally I do.
Oh, you're going to throw me under the bus.
Yeah, so you're to blame if these are.
I appreciate that.
If people don't seem to care about this. First Man, which is Damien Chazelle, his new movie coming out. He was the one who did La La Land and he did Whiplash, which is one of my favorite movies of the last probably 4 years or 3 years, however long it's been out. This is the story of Neil Armstrong and his trip to the moon. And it's getting a little bit of backlash for potentially being un-American or maybe pretty American. What do you think, Chris?
No one's seen the movie. So how do they know?
Well, it'd be people reviewing it. People who are doing either reviews or have seen trailers.
Yeah, basically what the controversy is Marco Rubio came out and said that the movie was un-American because it omitted the planting of the American flag on the moon. Now, my feeling is these guys, this director what did he do? La La Land before this? Okay,
yeah.
Very artistic movie. I just don't think he thought about it. I mean, you do at some point see the American flag on the moon, but they're trying to say that, it's America's accomplishment, whatever. And it is kind of like a world accomplishment. I'm not trying to defend one side or the other, really, but I think maybe they're reading a little bit too much into this director's choice. I don't think he probably made a conscious decision not to show it.
Well, the article was saying that basically this is all Donald Trump's fault.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That somehow this whole backlash and then the controversy surrounding it is all because Trump has polarized everything.
Well, this came up because a certain question was asked, right? This wasn't like, hey, let's release a statement, nip it in the butt kind of thing. This was like somebody asked.
No, it came out because Marco Rubio. He said it's un-American, and so then it's drummed up controversy from there.
No, I meant more. How do we know? No, when the movie isn't released, so how do people know?
Well, people have seen. I mean,
there's a screenings.
People
so
see
someone
movies.
said, "Hey,
I don't know
what I noticed? This wasn't in the movie."
Yeah, I don't know how Marco Rubio found out. Maybe he read a review or something like that. My guess is Damien Chazelle, very stylized, very artistic, like you said. Maybe he felt like the actual scene of the flag planting was like overplayed, or everyone knew it, or anything like that.
I doubt he even thought about it.
Maybe the special effects crew messed up and they like made it where there's wind, and someone's like, "Man, we spent $1 million. There's no wind in space."
Yeah,
and it's like, what do we do? And then,
or maybe the moon landing was a hoax. Ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Never really happened.
We're in Houston. We're in Houston, Texas, buddy. You better watch that one.
I'm just kidding. But anyways, a lot of controversy. Yeah, in Space City, right? A lot of controversy surrounding this. Apparently, I don't know. I love Damien Chazelle, so I'm going to see this movie. Ryan Gosling's awesome as well.
No, it looks fantastic. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, pretty excited. I don't think that Donald Trump had anything to do with.
Do you think there's like a following for space movies that don't involve like aliens?
Well, for sure. I mean, Apollo 13, Gravity.
Because this is kind of like what I was saying about the Mr. Rogers. Like, what is this bringing to the table that's different than like of a story we already know about? What's this bringing?
I think that this movie is going to be
besides the American flag.
I think this movie is going to be a lot about like inside the life and mind of Neil Armstrong, and I think it's going to talk about some of the just struggles, difficulty, challenges, things he had to overcome to get to where he ultimately was. I think that's what it's going to be about, kind of a character study of him. But yeah, definitely, I think there's a
be more interested.
There's a market.
I'd be more interested in a story about him after he gets fired from NASA.
Well,
it's like, hey, we don't really need you anymore, man. Like, we knew you went to the moon, we knew you did this great stuff, but can we just put him in like downstairs basement? Like, how do we get rid of this guy?
Yeah, I don't know that would be quite as compelling of a story.
You don't think that would be like you don't think that's like a human condition story?
Well, I don't know.
How you were super great and then you got tossed aside.
Yeah.
Deep. Well, we're here to see what they made, and that's not it. BusinessInsider.com. Second thing. Moving on. Second thing is a top 10 list of the worst movies of the year. Chris, run us through the movies.
Worst movies of the summer.
Of the summer, excuse me. Worst movies of the summer.
All right, number 10 was Axel. I don't even know what that is. It's about I believe a dog.
It's like a robot dog.
That movie
Robot.
actually came out like in.
Like a week ago or something.
That is true. Yeah, we had it.
You had it?
Yeah, we did.
You probably still do.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
still do.
at
Ooh,
the
I
Grand
might check
Theater.
it out then.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9 is Breaking In. I forgot her name. I should have written this down.
Yeah, I don't even.
All I did was
Gabrielle Union.
Yeah, Gabrielle Union. So number 8 is Overboard. That movie actually did really well for us.
Looked so stupid.
Is that
Especially
a remake?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell
Yeah.
Okay.
remake. Yeah. Number 7 is Happy Time Murders.
Dude, I saw Happy Time
Dude,
last
I saw
week.
it too.
Oh,
That is
God.
how is this number 7?
It was so bad.
It is by far one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
Is it because the curse of the trailer exposes too much?
No.
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 It's just, I mean, the trailer does expose the only semi-good parts of the movie.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And whatever her name is,
Melissa
Melissa
McCarthy,
McCarthy, I'm just as over her as I could ever be. The scenes, it's so ridiculous.
Maybe it was just the connection between a puppet and a man is slowly dwindling. Or
I don't know.
Hey, she has a puppet organ because she got shot and they had to take her to a puppet hospital and they put a puppet kidney or organ or something inside of her.
It's pretty rough.
It's terrible. Don't see it. Everyone avoid
But
it.
I love Brian Henson.
avoid it.
I
Like,
love
you see
Brian
it,
Henson.
Slap it down from the dollar bin. Put it at the bottom of the bin.
Oh,
Avoid
I
it.
wouldn't wish that movie on my worst enemy, I don't think. But I love Brian Henson. He's Jim Henson's son. He directed the movie. He's usually great, but this was a big miss. I will say the puppet deaths are pretty good.
Yeah.
But beyond that, that's about it.
My favorite part was the scene behind at the end in the credits where you got to watch like the puppeteers on their little rolling carts and stuff. Because that was kind of interesting. Everything else, super boring. So
What are you looking at me?
We just got to post that they can't hear us. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
okay, well maybe check that out on the Facebook. The Facebook said they're not hearing us on the audio. All right, well what else we got here? What's the next one?
The next one is Mile 22 is number 6.
Okay, I say nay to that. Mile 22 was a great movie. So these people are just haters at this point. If you think that the Happy Time Murders is a better movie than Mile 22, then I invalidate any future movie opinions that you could have.
Number 5 is Action Point, the Johnny Knoxville roller coaster movie.
Oh, yeah, I heard that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Heard that was rough.
Number 4 is Darkest Minds.
That was
Which-
some young adult thing?
Well, that was from the creators of Stranger Things, I believe. So
Okay.
pretty good deal. And then number 3 is Show Dogs.
Definitely don't remember that.
That I stepped into that a couple times. It's a pretty rough movie.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Slender Man. Now I saw Slender Man.
I did not. You hated Slender Man.
It was horrible. Yes, I would say it's pretty on par with Happy Time Murders. So I would say
So this summer were 2 of the worst movies you've ever seen? Because you said
yes,
Happy Time Murders was one of the worst movies.
it is, and Slender Man is right up there with it. It should be number 1 or number 2. So number 1 was Death of a Nation
Okay.
by Dinesh D'Souza,
All right.
which in no way is Death of a Nation worse than Slender Man or Happy Time Murders.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm just showing you the audio works.
Okay,
Oh,
well
okay.
there you go.
Well, there we go. So if anybody's not hearing us, we don't know what the deal is. Maybe look for the volume on your computer or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Dinesh D'Souza, Death of a Nation, 0%. I think that this is not his first movie to get 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, are you looking at Rotten Tomatoes and like critic scores?
Yeah,
and
critic scores,
also,
yeah.
Well, that's what this
Yeah.
Business Insider did. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about people who actually went to go to a movie and they're not critics? What's the ratios on these
Well,
movies?
I know Death of a Nation for us was pretty big. It did really well.
like what's the user score on Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes? Let me look it up.
Isn't
real
that
quick.
something that Rotten Tomatoes does?
But see, that's such a
Yeah.
fake. I mean, that's such a ridiculous way to look at it, though, because anybody who's going to Death of a Nation is somebody who wants to see a Dinesh D'Souza movie. Don't you think? It has 89% audience score, so it has 0% critic score, 89% audience score.
Yeah.
But again, it's his audience who would go to this movie. It's not some like a random person probably won't show up at the theater unless they just think the name sounds like cool or something and they don't know what it's about. I like some of what Dinesh D'Souza
Do you
has
think
to say.
there was actually a family who went to go see Happy Time Murders thinking it was a kids movie?
Yes, it did happen.
Has it
Yes.
really at your theater?
At the theater?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It sure did.
Really?
How far did they make it into it?
Till the cow scene, which you know what that is.
Which one was the cow scene?
The very beginning.
I'm trying.
He goes into that store and the guy opens up the curtain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you lose the children, I think.
Well, did they
it's not a
make
funny
any
scene.
effort like Deadpool did, where they're like, "Hey, don't do this. Don't go take kids to see this movie."
No,
Yes, yes,
oh,
they
did
did. They did. But people don't. They see puppets. They don't care. The fact that it has
Oh,
the
the
word.
cow scene. It wasn't even that funny in it. It wasn't that funny, but to imagine a family of like
yeah.
5 walking in with
I
like
know.
they got their icy and they've got their popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. I told you about. I was watching 50 Shades, whatever it was, and in the theater, and some people park, in different theaters because they're waiting on another movie to start. I guess, which is probably not.
No,
correct.
they're not supposed
So
to
this
do
family
that.
came in right in front of me, and I'll never forget because they are just sitting there, and there's like 3 little kids, and it's 50 Shades, the newest one, and I was like, this is really weird. Why would like a family bring their kids to see this movie? And they left pretty soon.
Well, don't go see that one either. Just generally avoid. There's no way that Dinesh D'Souza's movie is the worst movie of the summer. 0%
doubt.
chance. The liberals, they're ruining everything. They're hating on him. 0%, that's silly. 89% from the audience, I bet it's not 89% good, but 0%, that's stupid. And the fact that Mile 22 made this invalidates the list anyways. So, Business Insider, you're invalid, and I don't appreciate you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You appreciated it at one point?
At one point, I appreciated it, and now I do not because of that, because of their hatred of Mark Wahlberg. Hey guys, how you put me at 0%? Why you put me on the worst movie list of the year?
You got to do that on every episode.
Yeah, that's my
now.
Mark Wahlberg. For those that don't know, that's my spot on Mark Wahlberg.
I saw the trailer for his new movie with Rose Byrne. I want to call it. It's that Instant Family. It's like a
Rose
kid-
Byrne, yeah.
Is it Rose Byrne?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, she's a Brine. No, but yeah, have you seen the trailer for that?
No, it's called Instant Family.
Yeah, basically they're a married couple and they don't want kids, but then somehow it's based off a true story where they start adopting kids. But it has Mark Wahlberg being a dad, and I was like,
Hey,
you know what?
we're a
I
couple.
kind
We
of
don't
want to watch
kids.
him be a dad because I know the what was that with Will Ferrell?
Yeah,
his favorite movie.
The other guys.
No, the daddy.
Oh,
Help me out. It's
Daddy's
your favorite
home.
movie.
Daddy's home.
Yeah.
Daddy's Home too.
But
I figured that's one of my favorite movies.
Hey, throw a little Tim Allen in there, and you'd be freaking
Oh,
over
yeah.
the moon.
he should be the uncle.
Yeah.
He needs to do another movie, actually.
Hey guys, a couple finds themselves in over their heads when they adopt 3 children. Check it out, Instant Family. All right, we got to go to break. When we come back, we are going to be interviewing the one, the only Chad Miller. Very excited to talk to him about Last Man Standing. Chris can't wait. We got a lot of great stuff coming up. Chad, we hope you're excited. Maybe even a surprise thrown in. Don't want to tease it. And we'll give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater, so stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
Those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Health Center Southeast Texas is a federally qualified health center. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most major private insurances. For our self-pay patients, we have a sliding scale discount program available. Our health centers have qualified providers and staff striving every day to provide the best quality of care to our patients. Services offered are family medicine, behavioral health services, telepsychiatry, and pediatrics. We have 4 area locations. Look up the Health Center Southeast Texas online at hcset.com.
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern, with 2 locations serving the greater Houston area. 18359 Tomball Parkway, just north of Willowbrook Mall, and 9630 FM 1960 Bypass West, across from Deerbrook Mall. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. If you missed this last segment, we talked worst movies of the summer, which again is a list that we all, I think unanimously, the people have agreed is stupid. Now, in this segment, we're gonna have an interview with Chad Miller, who is one of the key players in helping bring Last Man Standing back on the air. And so we're very excited about that. We do want to remind everybody we are sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good. Chris, take it over, baby.
Well, before we get to Chad, we've got a really exciting little thing we can show here.
All right, he's got it up.
If you can get a shot of it. We've actually got some of the costumes from the show Last Man Standing.
Wait, so these are like the same things he wore, or the actual
These
pieces
are
of
the
clothing?
actual pieces of clothing that was all worn by Tim Allen, except the one in the lower right, which I think fans would recognize from a certain episode called The Friending Library, where the character of Chuck gets a little ink on his shirt, and that is actually screen matched, so we're good. And these are on loan from a private collector, very generous to do this for us so we could have it in studio. But on the left, I mean, is one of the jackets that he had worn since, I believe, season 2 Christmas episode all the way through season 6.
So
that's cool.
hardcore fans are going to know these items,
definitely,
right?
yes. I recognize it all. The shirts and the jackets and the pants might not have been worn together, but and then of course you got the iconic jacket in the middle there, that bomber jacket. Since season 3 on, he's worn that. So
Yeah,
really cool.
If you're a fan of the show and you recognize this stuff, let us know on Facebook. You know, tell us that you recognize it. Maybe comment the name of the episode if you recognize it specifically. We'll kind of be a little quiz. You know, how dedicated are you? Do you recognize any of these? He said the jackets were worn multiple times.
Yeah, and we actually have a slideshow where you'll see, I believe, those items as well. The pictures.
Okay, well, cool.
So hopefully we'll have that go.
All right.
All right. Let me get started here. So just a little backstory. So in the spring of 2017, ABC canceled its second highest rated comedy, Last Man Standing. The decision, according to ABC TV Entertainment President Channing Dungey, was not due to the conservative political views of its star, Tim Allen, instead stating that the network decided not to continue to air comedies on Friday nights. The cancellation and explanation did not sit well with fans of the show. A petition was started to reverse the cancellation, acquiring more than 500,000 signatures and getting the attention of Fox Television, who in May announced that they would revive the sitcom, airing it in its same Friday night time slot. Last Man Standing will now go head-to-head with ABC's Fresh Off the Boat, the comedy that must have made ABC change their mind about their Friday night funnies.
Oops.
Yeah. The fan petition that started the...
Somebody's sour.
Yeah.
Hey.
So they said that they were going to cancel comedies, and then they put a comedy.
And then they
in
put a
place.
comedy. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
But the fan petition that started the revival movement was created by Twitter user Deputy Matt. Our guest today took that petition and ran with it. He is considered by many to be the fan that saved Last Man Standing. Chad Miller. Chad, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We sure can.
All right.
So let's get to know you. First off, I have one question before that. So Last Man Standing is going to blow Fresh Off the Boat out of the water on September 28th. Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah. No question. I've looked up the ratings for Fresh Off the Boat, and They're ranked second to last in their comedy rankings, and it's average of 4.1 million viewers compared to Last Man Standing, which was 8 million viewers. I think we know who's going to win.
Oh, I think we do. Now, have you ever? Okay, you don't hate Fresh Off the Boat, right? You just hate that Fox.
No, I just can't stand
or ABC.
Channing Dungey and ABC and what they've done. I'm not saying boycott, all their shows. It's just I don't want they to win. I don't want them to win.
Gotcha. Okay, all right.
Well, let's get to know you a little bit. First off, where are you from? Where are you calling us from today?
I'm from Osceola, Indiana. More people know South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame.
You know, I actually lived in LaPorte, Indiana for 15 years, so I'm very familiar with that area.
Okay.
So Chad, like, where did your love for the show originate? I mean, were you a season 1, episode 1? Were you an early adopter, or did you? I mean, have you been a Tim Allen guy forever? Like, where? Tell us where this started.
I like all Tim Allen movies, the Toy Story, Santa Claus, the dog movie, the Shaggy Dog. I hadn't seen Home Improvement yet because I wasn't around, but my mom and dad saw it, and when I was watching an advertisement on ABC back in 2011, and I saw a preview for Last Man Standing, and it was starring Tim Allen. I'm like, okay, that's gonna be a good show because it's Tim Allen.
That's definitely what I thought as well.
Hey, Chad, is the sound on your laptop, buddy?
Okay, that's gonna be a good show because it's Tim Allen. I keep hearing an echo. I keep hearing myself.
Here, let me check it out.
Okay, yeah. Dick's gonna try to figure this out for us real quick. We don't know what the echo is about. Is the sound on your computer? Or?
The sound. Well, I got my headphones on. You want me to unplug it to see if that?
No, I think it seems like it's cleared up now. I think.
Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. We'll just keep moving on, and Dick will try to get it all figured out for us here.
So once you started watching Last Man Standing, how did you feel when it got canceled?
I was shocked, and I was surprised because the way the last episode ended, it didn't seem like a proper ending.
No, I think, what was it? Vanessa got knocked out, or one of them got knocked out, I believe. That was it. Yeah,
towards the end, it was Eve that got knocked out by Mandy.
Right.
And that's how it ended. And that wasn't really a proper ending for that type of family show. And I just knew something wasn't right when they canceled it.
No, they didn't. There was no lead up to the cancellation, right? Like
no.
It was. It was just going strong, and all of a sudden they pulled the plug.
Yes, correct. Yeah, they had no notice. I actually found out there's a guy that works on the show. He told me in February of 2017 they agreed to 2 more years. All their salaries and everything. They agreed for 2 more years. And then in May of 2017, they all of a sudden decided to cancel it. I just learned that a few months ago.
So they knew beforehand, but they didn't tell anybody? Is that what you're saying?
No. Oh. Yeah, correct. Okay. They all assumed that they were going to be renewed, and they just got the call, and basically they said, nope, sorry, we're done. We're not going to bring it back.
Well, I know Tim Allen was blind. He said he was stunned and blindsided by that, and I think we all were when that happened. But tell us, and all outraged. I'm sure you were as well. But tell us how the petition got started and how you kind of took the helm of that.
Well, I looked up on the change.org and see if there was any petitions out there, and I saw Deputy Matt's petition. I was going to create one, but I saw how his was getting so much promoted that I signed that one, and then I just constantly on Twitter, Facebook, just shared that petition constantly to get fans to sign it. So I felt I didn't need to make a petition because he already had one. Why create more than one petition?
Yeah. So did you have a big like online following before this? I mean, like, you know, there was 500,000. Did you have 500,000 Facebook friends, or how were you able to take this from, I mean, I know I probably have a couple hundred, right? So if I posted a petition, would anybody see it? How were you able to take it and make it explode like this?
Yeah. Well, about a month or so later, I just typed in "last man standing," was searching on the Facebook, and I found this Facebook group called "Bring Back Last Man Standing." It was created by Amy Woods Macram, and I joined. There was about maybe like 5,000 people on there at the time, and I kept writing stuff saying we need to try and bring back this show. And I was, promoting the show and so much and sharing the petition on there that she made me in charge of the group. And I would just post almost about every day. First we contacted Netflix, CMT, and a bunch of other networks and stuff.
So tell me how you felt once you found out that all of your hard work had paid off and Last Man was picked up by Fox.
I always hoped that the show would come back, but I was hoping it would come back last fall. I was hoping it would get back on within like a few months, like someone was going to pick it up right away. But when I noticed that wasn't happening, I just kept pushing. I was kind of, disappointed. And, but then when it was announced in March that it was coming back, I was like, did we actually really do this? And, when there was talks that they said it's on top of Fox's reboot list, which is really not technically a reboot. They just took a long vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I was elated. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Like, I was super excited when that happened. And I guess, for your efforts, you were invited to the first taping of this new season where you got to meet the actors and take photos on the set. And, I mean, that must have just been a thrill of a lifetime, really.
Oh, yeah. The guy, he works on the show. His name's John. And he contacted me when it was officially announced that the show was coming back. He said, I would like to invite you as my VIP guest to the first taping. And you can have a dinner with the cast. And we just had to find our way out there. Well, come to find out, when the first taping, which was August 14th, we were already going out there to Oregon to see my brother because he got us tickets to come out there and visit him. And so we drove down from Oregon all the way to California.
That's a long drive.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, 16 and a half hours.
Wow.
Golly. That's awesome. So, I guess, just the question of, I have shows that I like that have come and gone and things like that. What was it specifically about this show that resonated with you so much? And apparently so many other people. I mean, there was, 500,000 people, 25,000 people in that Bring Back Last Man Standing Facebook group. What was it about this show specifically? I mean, it can't just be that it was like kind of funny. There must be something more than that. What is it about the show that makes it so beloved?
It's about family, family values, and showing how people can get along with different views. You don't see that in many other shows, it seems like, for me anyway. But the main part of it was I liked it because it was about family, and his vlogs were hilarious too. I always liked his vlogs that he did. That was my favorite part of the show. And I also like when the holidays come around, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those were also my favorite episodes too.
Yes, I love the Halloween episodes myself. Those are awesome.
Yeah, those are good too. Yep, I like that.
Well, let me ask you something about the show. Actually, there's two new actors that are joining the cast. Jet Juergensmeyer, he's playing Boyd, and Molly McCook, who takes over playing Mandy from Molly Ephraim. So some fans are taking issue with the character of Mandy switching from black to blonde hair. I got to be honest with you. I'm digging the blonde hair. But you've seen her. Well, I am. I like it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
No, I meant like people are like,
Yes.
I'm upset.
Yes, they are. But, you know, Chad, you've seen her in action as Mandy. So can you put these internet trolls to bed here on the hair controversy?
Yeah, the first episode that I saw, she was hilarious. She got the biggest laugh from the audience at that taping that I went to. And the way they know the change and they announce it. Well, they don't announce it, but they
play into it a
know
little
that
bit.
it's not Molly Ephraim,
Yeah.
basically.
Do they do like a little like wink at the camera almost about it, like kind of make a joke or something about how it's a different person?
Well, we don't want to know. We don't want to know this. We don't want to know this.
Oops.
I
Okay.
can't really say.
we
Oh
can't.
my gosh.
I don't want it to be spoiled.
Well, hey, I saw on one of the little trailers that it was a clip, and Tim Allen says something like, "These networks will cancel a show at any minute," or something like that, and everybody laughed. You know, I guess they're kind of playing that part up a little bit, at least it seems like.
Oh yes, the first minute is just 100% spot on. Is what the fans would want to hear. They know that the fans wanted this. So, like, the very first minute is just hilarious.
Okay, so it's definitely insider for those who have watched the show the whole time, making jokes at some of the things that
and
happen.
they also said Kevin Abbott at the Television Critics Association, for people who are just recently started watching it, they may not understand the joke, but they'll probably get it of why people are laughing if they looked it up. Like, what's this meaning when they said this, you know?
Well, Chad, what's your hope for the show? How long do you want it to see continue?
Well, I hope at least, Tim Allen said he wants at least 3 more seasons. I would be fine with at least 3 more seasons. I would like it to go maybe 5, 6 seasons, maybe another chunk. One of the craft services that I got to when I went to the studio, they said, "Thank you for bringing it back because we have jobs again." And he says, "Do you think you can get us 5 more seasons?" And I said, "I hope so."
Just keep the petition going, man.
Is there any other show you're working on saving right now?
No, I'm done. This was such a long year.
No kidding.
Bringing this back, when it was around December and stuff, I always wondered if Tim Allen was hearing us, and I was like, I tweeted to him. I believe I said something like, "Give us a sign that we need to continue." And then he did that interview with Fox News in January saying, the fans, overwhelming support. Thank you so much. There's so much gas left in the tank. And so that told me we needed to continue. And so, but there's no other show that I wasn't as passionate about. I mean, there has been past shows that I've watched that have been canceled, but I was like, okay, that's, but this particular show, the way it ended, it wasn't right.
I'm sure that regardless of how many seasons it goes, you probably just want it to run its course and get the ending it probably deserves, right? Not just be cut off.
Oh yeah, it needs to have a proper ending. And with the changes, I still think people will be okay, because it's not just about 1 or 2 people. The entire cast works together. And so I hope people will continue to watch even with the changes. I mean, people continue to watch after season 1 when the Kristen and Ryan and Boyd, when they changed those characters.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can, I know obviously that was season 1 and people didn't get to know that actress. And this has been 6 seasons, but it shouldn't matter. Anyone can play the role of the character Mandy, because like Kevin Abbott said, we want Molly McCook to play Mandy Baxter. not Molly Ephraim.
Right. Well, Dick,
And I think that's
sorry. Go ahead, Chad.
Oh.
Sorry.
and I think that's why they kept her blonde, and because they wanted her to be comfortable in her own role, because of obviously if they colored her black or have a wig on her, people would start comparing her to Molly, not Mandy.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So Dick's going to get another shot of these. I don't know if you can see these, Chad, but we've got some costumes in studio here. Are you able to see them at all?
Yeah, I can see them.
You can see them? Okay. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, it's been a real thrill for me because I owe you a lot because I love that show, but we're not quite done yet. In honor of the efforts that you've made to save Last Man Standing, the Ticket Stub would like to present to you the shirt that's on the right that Tim Allen wore in season 5, episode 18, He Shed, She Shed episode. You can see it behind the green shirt that's in the frame. That one, we'd like to give that to
Connor,
you.
do some presentation. Come on,
just
do
you can
something.
point at it. Yeah,
There you
we'd
go.
like to give that to you. We're going to get that in the mail to you tomorrow, just as a small token of appreciation.
And don't worry, Chris is only worn it a couple times.
No.
Don't worry about it.
No, I haven't. No one's touched it. It's straight from the studio when we got it. So we'd like to give that to you as just a small token of our appreciation.
Oh, well, thanks. You didn't have to do that. That's generous of you.
Well, you deserve it, sir. And as a great man once said, never give up, never surrender. And Chad Miller, you are the epitome of that statement. And I wish you the best of luck in everything that you do. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Thanks.
Thanks again, Chad. Everybody listening, we appreciate y'all listening. Be sure to share this with a friend, especially I know there's a lot of Chad's people have tuned in today. So if you're one of his, I know that maybe the audio was a little rough at first. I think when we post it online, hopefully we'll be able to cut that out because on our end it sounded good. But share this with a friend. Let everybody know Chad deserves to get some credit for all the hard work he's done to bring back a show that really is great all the way around, wholesome, family, everything like that.
And let's not forget, Last Man Standing Season 7 premieres on September 28th at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Fox, not ABC.
Not
Boo.
ABC.
Boo ABC. Yeah, we're going to go to break, everybody. When we come back, we hope you'll stick with us, especially if you're one of Chad's people. Stick with us. We're going to do top 3 shows that we feel like should be rebooted. So, again, if you've been commenting on the Facebook, comment a show that you think should be rebooted.
Can't wait to do that.
Woo! Dick knows about it.
I got to write my list now.
He definitely didn't wait till just now to hear about that part. Everybody, we'll be back in just a minute on the Ticket Stub.
Let's begin now.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris.
And we're with the Ticket Stub podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B and, of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM or worldwide at irlongstar.com.
Let's begin now.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. For everybody that's been listening, we just had a great interview with Chad Miller. Very glad to give him the chance to talk a little bit more, share some of his story of how he helped save or bring back, revive Last Man Standing. And we have, we had a little gift for him, a generous donor, a generous patron.
Connor. I'm getting my name screwed up between you two today.
Okay,
Chris,
what were you going to say?
Chris, did you need a napkin? You need a tissue, bud?
No, I'm sorry. I got a little choked up. Okay,
I think
I'm not proud of it, but I really was, really was moved because by this
Chad's
guy's
still
efforts.
listening, and folks who are fans, you guys have no idea, which I think you might have an idea how
Yeah.
big of a fan Chris is. Like, this is almost every episode Thursday at noon o'clock on irlonestar.com. Ticket Stub is we learn something new about Chris.
We do,
and it has so many layers to it too. And
like an onion.
Yeah.
Like a beautiful, beautiful onion.
And it's nice that private collector is able to get rid of that shirt and donate that shirt to Chris.
Yeah, it sure was.
Very sweet. Well, we do want to say that we're live, like Dick said, live every Thursday at noon on irlonestar.com, 104.5 and 106.1 in the Conroe area. Also, our Facebook feed, the Ticket Stub Podcast, Twitter at @_Ticket Stub, and podcast platforms. You can find us, leave a review, rating, share. Please, if you're a first-time listener today, go ahead and just hit subscribe on that podcast button or hit like on that Facebook page so that you'll keep up with us in what we're doing, and hopefully it's stuff that you want to come back to and listen again a week after week. Every week, we do give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater and Movie Tavern, who are our sponsor, by the way. Movie Tavern, movies never tasted so good. Last week, the question was in honor of The Nun, which is a movie coming out this weekend. What part, or last weekend, what horror franchise was that a part of? The answer is The Conjuring. And that was answered by Aaron Donahoe. And so we'll get the tickets. Aaron, if you're listening, please send us your address via direct message on Twitter. We'll get those tickets mailed out to you this week so that you can have that so you can go see a free movie on us. Actually, 2 tickets, so you can take a date if you want. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a top 3. We do this from time to time. Today, the topic is top 3 TV shows that should be rebooted with the original cast. So if you're a Last Man Standing fan, go ahead and let us know what you think. What is something that should be rebooted besides? We won the battle with Last Man Standing. It's back.
Yeah.
What else is out there? So we're going to go 3, 2, 1 in order. And hopefully Dick will get some thought of between now and then of some shows that we want to see come back. And Chris, we'll let you start, man. What do you think? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Frasier. I want to see that come back.
Okay.
And it's unfortunate John Mahoney passed away recently. He was Frasier's dad on that show, and so
he was kind of the comic relief.
Yeah, right. But I'd like to see that show come back, and there is some talks about it possibly coming back.
Really, this is kind of the age of bringing things from the past back, right? So this seems like a perfect platform for someone like Amazon or Netflix to pick that up and release, 10 episodes a year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Frasier, I never really got into that one. I think I'm a little bit young.
It's a really good show.
Yeah,
I watched all of it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, it's very entertaining.
What was his British girlfriend's name? Daphne or something?
Yeah.
Where did that come?
It was the brothers.
I know, but the fact that I pulled that out of my mind, I feel like is
And Roz and Daphne are the ladies that reoccurring.
Yeah. All right, Dick, do you have a number 3?
Yeah, I would say. Are we saying like number 3 is like the third important?
Yeah, like the least excited.
Well, I'm not using that. So just generic.
Okay.
I would say the TV show called Sliders.
Oh yeah,
with Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah,
I would love for that show to come back.
What is that? I don't know that.
Oh, parallel universes, man.
Oh, okay.
So
he like slid into parallel universes.
Oh yeah. It was
kind of like Quantum Leap.
Had a great series to it. Like I really enjoyed how creative the writing was and how wild it all was. So I would definitely love.
Didn't they have
to
that
see
theme song? Was like
Sliders.
Oh, they whisper. That's always
they whisper
good. A little bit of whisper. All right, Sliders. What I'll say, my number 3 pick, a little out of the box maybe. I would love to see Whose Line Is It Anyways brought back.
Is it already brought back?
It's on. It's on TV
Oh
right
gosh,
now.
we just blew his mind.
It is.
We
It's
just
on
blew his
CW.
mind.
Does it have the original cast?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, it does. It's hosted by
Chad, you did it. Chad, you brought it back. Woo!
The power of Chad.
The power of Chad.
It's hosted by a lady now.
You think you would research your shows before you?
I literally looked up a list of shows that were canceled, and it was one of them.
Dude, it's on. It's on every week.
Oh my goodness, what a great day! I'm gonna go watch that.
Ryan Stiles
What
is
a
there.
great day.
Colin Mockery's
That's
there.
great.
Dude, no way. Okay, well, I will. I'm a little caught off guard
We just
right now.
got some good
Yeah, a little
news.
thrown off. Hey, we got some people commenting on the show. Mike and Molly is something someone is saying.
Oh, yeah.
24. Somebody
You
commented.
know how
they'd
much
like to see
money that
24.
that show would cost? That lady would be like,
Yeah.
I'm only coming back for movie money. Man.
Oh, yeah.
They could throw some puppets in there though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Mike and Molly and Kermit.
Chris, what's your number? Now I'm self-conscious. Like, are all my shows back and I just don't know it?
Probably.
What's your number 2?
My
Chris?
number 2 is a show from the 80s and early 90s called Perfect Strangers. I don't know if you're familiar with that show.
Slightly familiar.
With Mark Lynn Baker and Bronson Pinchot.
Yeah.
Gosh, that show is so funny. Mark Lynn Baker.
He's
He's
like 2 seasons, right?
No, it went
went-
9, I believe.
Okay. Well,
Two, 9.
It is
seasons.
also on
Way
Hulu.
to go, Chad.
Yeah, it's also on Hulu.
I think from now on, I'm going to thank Chad for anything good
I
that
think
happens.
that's good.
But I think Mark Lynn Baker and Bronson Pinchot would be on board for doing this again.
I bet Bronson Pinchot probably doesn't have that much else going on, right?
I don't think so.
He had like a weird HGTV show on for a little while, I think, or something.
Yeah.
All right, Dick, number 2. What you got?
Highlander, the TV series.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Chopping heads off, man.
Yeah, I like that show. I wish it was still around.
Solid feedback.
Yes.
Hey, I like it, and I miss it.
I enjoy show. Show should be on
Show
TV.
is good. I like show. All right, here we
Well,
go.
they made like TV movies, and then they made a female version of it, and it's like you knew they wanted to do it, but they just I don't know why. The shows are actually pretty horrible, but
Of course.
but very
if you like
enjoyable.
it, then it's not actually good. Yeah. All right, number 2 for me, and I'm very nervous here. Freaks and Geeks.
Okay.
Is that on TV? Someone?
No,
Anyone?
it is not.
All right, Freaks and Geeks. This is Judd Apatow. This is early Apatow.
I just
Before he was
imagine
who
all
he
those
was.
characters who are actors now.
Oh, they're all so famous. Yeah, they're all.
that's how I imagine.
Yeah,
Freaks and Geeks are these real people.
I just don't know if I can support Seth Rogen coming back in anything. I don't know.
No, I like Seth Rogen. Freaks and Geeks was so good. If you haven't watched it, I think it's on Netflix. It feels pretty old. I mean, it is now probably 20 years old or something like that. It was very, very like indie the whole time it was being made. Never really had money, never really had support, but kind of has a cult following now. I really like it a lot. And so Freaks and Geeks, again, everyone in that show is famous now. Like Martin Starr is like the least famous person from Freaks and Geeks. So, it would be a $1 trillion budget or something like that. But great. I love it. Always. It's like a comfort food for me to go back and rewatch that show. I really like it a lot. All right, Chris, number 1.
Number 1 for me, and they did do this. They shot a pilot to reboot it, and they said it was terrible, and they scrapped it, which is unfortunate. But it's the TV show Coach.
Oh wow!
Starring Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah,
he's my second favorite actor, by the way. But unfortunately,
I love it.
Yeah, well, he is.
Craig T. Nelson's your second favorite actor.
Yes.
I mean,
I've said this before.
These are good actors, but I just feel like it's a strange pick.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, but
All right.
it'd be kind of hard. Jerry Van Dyke is he's passed away, so that wouldn't be good. But I would love to see Coach come
Like
back.
a Weekend at Bernie's type thing with
Such
Jerry.
a great. Oh no!
Oh, too bad. Oh, sorry, disrespectful.
He's my third.
Shut up! Stop it. All right. Okay, Dick. Number 1.
It would be a hybrid. It would be these two shows.
Oh, okay. We'll be combining
because they already kind of brought it back. X-Files is one of my favorite shows, but they kind of brought it back.
Kind of.
I would like to see more episodes because it's a great show. And then the second show would an actual like reboot would be Wings.
Oh,
I would love to see some
Wow.
Wings.
Yes.
I was a huge fan of Wings
I
back when I
agree
was
with
younger, and then when it came on streaming, I immediately started watching that. And I'm pretty sure everyone's still around.
But
am I missing out on
Didn't
somebody?
the lead guy? He's on Criminal Minds, and he kicked some girl or something.
Oh no!
That's what I heard.
I don't know.
Well-
I just know the show had a good premise.
Kicked a girl.
I always
something
went
like that.
always
never good.
like, where do you want to go for your honeymoon? It was like, I wouldn't mind going to Nantucket.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
It's just like, why on earth do you want to go to Nantucket? It's like, because I watched this show and it's like apparently a really neat place. I don't know.
I just watched the Halloween episode of one of the seasons the other day.
Of Wings?
Yeah.
What? What are the like? When was the last time you thought about Wings?
I think about it pretty much, every time I go on Netflix. I'm like, man, I wish Wings was back on this stuff so I can.
I mean, hey, Wings was great, but I have not.
Well, it's on Hulu.
I for sure haven't watched Wings.
The whole thing, all the seasons. Yeah,
I'm sure I've not seen it in a long, long time. But hey, what are the odds? Number one for me. It's a show that was.
But it sucks.
Dude, get over yourself. Number one for me is a TV show called Community. Now, they have done some reboots, some bringing back. It leaves, it comes, it goes, it goes, it comes, everything like that. Community starring Joel McHale, Donald Glover. Chevy Chase was in it for a while, not anymore. Gillian Jacobs. So, one of my favorite shows of all time. It's another one that I feel like had a cult following. Maybe, I don't know, but the ratings were just never quite there. Like the people that loved it really loved it, but it never got what it had. Yahoo brought it in for a while. It's available on Hulu, I believe. If you've never watched Community, I just think it's one of the smartest, funniest shows out there. Really, really good, and I love the cast. It's really they just the dynamic is great, everything like that.
It is a great show.
All right, well go ahead, Chris.
No,
I thought you were talking. Okay, for the ticket giveaway this week, here's the question: if you want to win the tickets, you got to answer this question. Are you gonna do it?
I got it.
Well, that's what I said. What do you want to do?
Oh, you got it. Okay, no. Well, go ahead.
Gosh, let's go.
That's the worst radio we've ever done. Although she played the oldest Baxter sister, Kristen, on the first season of Last Man Standing, Alexandra Krosny is how much younger than Molly Ephraim, who played the middle sister, Mandy? So answer that on our Twitter @the_ticket stub. Send us the answer. We will mail you 2 tickets to the Grand Theater Movie Tavern. We'll announce the winner next week on the show. For everybody that tuned in, we are so thankful for that. Please comment, share, subscribe, like, everything great like that. Chad Miller, thank you so much for being here. It was a great show, really fun today. My name's Connor. For Chris, for Dick.
When's that Last Man Standing show coming on?
September 28th
on Fox.
On Fox at 8/7 Central.
Why do you do it when I'm in the middle of the sign off? And then
he does it every day, every time,
every single time, without fail.
That's the only way I can remind myself.
For Dick, for Chris, my name is Connor. We're signing off on the Ticket Stub.
This is not a drill.